If there's one thing the internet loves, it's a definitive ranking of the episodes of What If which came out.
Yeah, I mean, like cancelling somebody on Twitter.
Oh yeah, that's
the
good.
number one thing they like to do every day. We've got to cancel one person on Twitter.
Yep.
But once we're done with that, we rank a thing. We do a ranked list of things.
Cancel someone, have some brekkie.
It's what we call breakfast.
Yeah, scoot on over for a What If ranking episode.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Video. It's not. This isn't an episode of anything. Listen. So obviously by now all the episodes have been out. Please leave a like if you could.
Not all the episodes ever, James. There's a season 2 on the way.
God, this guy. Hope someone cancels him on Twitter.
Look, I'm just writing some YouTube comments in advance, right? That's what I'm doing here. I'm workshopping them.
That's a good point.
That one annoyed you, so I'm putting it in as soon as this video comes up.
So what we've done here, Mason and I have sat down and put in order the episodes of What If to what we think are worst to best. Okay. Now I think on the whole, this series was okay.
Terrific.
I think there were some like really high points, but there's some pretty like middling stuff, which we'll also talk about. If you've got a different list, no, you don't. This is the list.
This is the list.
This is the list.
And bear in mind, if your favorite episode is lower down the list than ours, that's a deliberate shot at you, personally.
We know what you think, and you're just, it's not right.
What are you thinking? Stop it. Think something else. Think something better.
Anyways, number 8. We've put, what if Captain Carter were the first Avenger?
Now, don't get us wrong. It's a strong episode.
Is it though?
It's not. Well, here's the thing.
I think it's a strong idea.
It's a strong idea. What I think I'm going with here is the action in it, I think, is very fluid. It's exciting. It's a great... I think it's... In terms of just showing what the animation can do, I think, as an opener, I think it was cool.
Yep.
And it was good to see Peggy Carter again. And I think, there were some fun concepts in it. I think the Hydra Smasher was fun and cool.
But...
The major downfall, I think, of some episodes of What If generally... and what we feared the entire season could be, given that this was the opener, that it was just you reverse a couple of roles from the movie, and then the episode sort of plays out pretty much the same as the movie did.
Just breezes through the first Avenger.
And I think in a lot of ways this was meant to be sort of a softball entry into the series.
I completely agree.
For people who are unfamiliar with the idea of a multiverse or a what if, to be like, this is how these things work.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. But I think it looked good.
I agree. At number 7, we've got, what if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark? For me, this one felt kind of incomplete. You know what I mean? This idea that these two would team up and then something of that would like play out in a way which would have, I guess, a solid conclusion. I guess I was looking for. And look, not all of these need to have solid conclusions or do, but it felt like this kind of treaded water until the finale, and then it just kind of went, see you in the wrap-up episode, I guess, where he gets stuck in a dark dimension.
We need someone from an episode to be in the final episode.
Yeah.
So, Killmonger, you're elected. Here we go.
Yeah. And I just think that idea of teaming those two up, like warmongers, essentially.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
It is cool. And Tony Stark, like, never learnt a lesson. Yeah. I like that idea, but I just, for this one for me, just didn't really come together.
Did you also feel like Tony Stark was a little bit too easily tricked?
Yeah. What a dope.
But again, like you said, maybe it's because he hadn't learned a lesson.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't know about Obadiah Stane in the first movie.
That's
anyway.
true, yeah.
So, and he's a drunk.
He's also a drunk.
Yeah. At number 6, we've got What If Zombies. Now, I should also point out here that I love the concept of Marvel Zombies. But in addition to that, there are so many variations on this in the comics, but they're not all good. You know?
Yeah, you're probably right.
And I think this kind of falls somewhere in the middle of those ideas.
Yeah, I think perhaps when I went into this episode, I was under the expectation it would be the Marvel comic book zombies that I'm most familiar with, which is where they retain a lot of their intelligence.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, a lot of it is kind of played for laughs. And there were some laughs in this.
Sure.
But I think, again, that maybe one of the biggest problems I have with this series generally, and it's illustrated in this, is there is a tonal issue.
Absolutely.
Sometimes there's it's a life or death end of the universe situation, and Spider-Man's making little fun Zombieland-esque videos about how to survive a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Oh, your friends died. Aunt May died.
Who are these for?
Right?
Yeah. What an odd duck.
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah. Number 5, though, we've got...
Should have been Duckman.
Remember
Duckman?
The cartoon, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Cartoon
great.
Duckman.
I love Duckman.
Jason Alexander.
Jason Alexander was Duckman.
Yeah. Number 5, what if Thor were an only child? I think this one, like, it's fun. You know what I mean? And it explored the idea of, what if Thor was just an absolute goof?
Sure.
Like Chris Hemsworth, real world, what a character, what a larrikin. But he'll pick you up and he'll throw you into the ocean. We've talked about this before. If he wanted to, but he won't.
No.
Yeah. But I think ultimately this is kind of pointless, you know? And they don't always have to have a point. But at the end, it was like, oh no, Thor's had a party. Oh no, his mum's coming. Oh no, he cleaned up the earth. Oh wait, she figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I liked it. I think maybe the
I
reason
liked it though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, every one of these episodes, I think there's no episode here that has no redeeming features. I think they're all a lot of fun, and I loved the Thor versus Captain Marvel fight.
Yeah,
I did feel like it was kind of they're using the cartoon format as as to explore like a kind of like a fun Baby's Day Out Looney Tunes kind of vibe for this one.
Yeah.
Again, as much as I do criticize the tone, it's a chance to. These are all what ifs. This isn't the mainline Marvel universe. If you want these to be silly,
they can be as silly as you like.
Yeah, just
they can be a silly universe.
Silly universe. The Watcher designates some of these as silly universes. He doesn't go into them unless absolutely necessary.
Number 4, we've got what if T'Challa became Starlord?
Love a good heist episode or a heist movie.
That's why it's up there for me. I mean, it's a big Chadwick Boseman episode as well, and I really liked the idea of like him being Starlord and how. And I know a criticism of this is what he just fixes the universe if he's Starlord. Yeah, sure, why not?
It's a bit of fun.
He's pretty competent, you know what I mean? I mean, Peter Quill himself, he's outside of being accidentally like taken into space, as we also see in this episode, he's not much. But what if you put someone in space who grew up to be a king and got the best of everything and his morals were like second to none? Mm-hmm. Maybe he could make some absolute like cosmic sized changes in the universe, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's a heist. And Duckman's in it.
No.
What?
Howard the Duck.
Duckman. I call him Duckman.
All right, cool. That's great. That's good. Maybe he calls himself Duckman.
Yeah.
I need a superhero name. And of course, in the final episode, we did get a sort of a little bit of a T'Challa Peter Quill team up.
Yeah.
Like Peter Quill does get his little bit of action, which is a bit of fun.
Why not? And why not? And why not, we say? At number 3, we've got, this one I thoroughly enjoyed. What if the world lost its mightiest heroes?
Murder mystery.
Murder mystery. Yeah, I think the conclusion to the murder mystery is also, it's a good reveal. Often murder mysteries are like, I couldn't have figured that out no matter how many times. Like the clues weren't there for any of this. But for this, all the clues were there.
I mean, all the clues were there in the last decade of Marvel movies.
Well, that is true.
If you hadn't seen any of those, you might be really, a Shrinky Man?
I mean, what are you watching these for, though, if you've
That's
never
a really,
seen that?
yeah, that is a good point.
Kind of towards the end, from memory, like I'd figured out this is a Shrinky person, I think. Is it Hope Van Dyne? Like, I don't know who this is going to be. And then the reveal that it's Michael Douglas, and his eyebrows are quite frankly out of control. Yeah. So you know it's bad news. He's taken some Yellow Jacket stuff. And he's on an absolute tear. And then the idea that he has to fight Nick Fury, who's actually like Loki in disguise. I enjoy that. It's nearly number 2 for me. Mm-hmm. It's like it's so close to being
that you mean
there.
It's bad?
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. Anything below the number 1, we're considering bad.
Yeah.
A real number 2.
Now, you might be wondering also at this point, wait, weren't there 9 episodes of this? Why did you start at number 8? Were you thinking that, Mason?
Yeah.
You absolute buffoon, Mason.
You explained it to me beforehand, but I forgot.
So we've actually put 2 episodes together at number 2, and that is What If Ultron Won and What If the Watcher Broke His Oath. I think these episodes, in particular, the first one, is a good culmination of like everything that's led up. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess this last one would be a better combination because they actually team everybody up. But that idea of seeing this Ultron who just got to absolutely run rampant. You know, he just got to do whatever he wants and he's just destroying universes and then he's skipping across the multiverse. He's eating big worlds and whatever.
Loved seeing all those Easter eggs of like, countless alternate worlds. I loved when he took a big chomp of that galaxy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Terrific stuff.
We might have seen Mustafar, like the Star Wars planet, like within that as well.
I thought you meant the Lion King.
Sure, why not? It's probably in there as well. But I think the reason this isn't at number 1 is I think the second one is not as strong.
I see.
As would you agree with me on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the idea of bringing everybody together, I like, but I think if this had been maybe 1 episode, maybe I would have perceived it differently. But also,
everybody really absolutely accepted the idea that they've all been brought together for a multiversal mission, and
sure,
they're just like, sure, this is This is fine. We don't have a lot of time in this episode.
No.
We all know we're fictional characters in an episode.
I don't mind that this pub's floating in absolute nothingness. Mm-hmm. It's fine with me.
Yeah.
Let's beat up a robot. I don't know. Yeah.
That's probably what I was going to do today anyway.
And at number 1, of course, we have what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands?
Now, you've put this at number 1, I suspect, because you love a magical battle.
I do love a magical battle,
right?
Which I think is also the strength of number 2. But I think this magical battle and the idea of Doctor Strange, who's absolutely losing his mind, and just sitting for like hundreds of years and just pulling monsters out of a portal just to absorb their powers, just to bring a woman back from the dead and then have the universe collapse in on itself.
I mean, if I could provide one criticism of this episode, it would be that when he went to these extreme lengths for hundreds of years to attempt to resurrect Rachel McAdams' character, I did have the question: were they together at the end of the last movie? Are they a couple? Is this?
Don't know. Nobody knows. Everybody saw that movie just in theaters and then never watched it again.
That's true.
I quite liked it. And I think also what helped here, the performance of Benedict Cumberbatch was very good. I think that made a huge difference because he's a thespian. He's a man of theatre. He's a man of movies. And he's been a cartoon dragon.
When recording this, he probably imagined he was treading the boards.
Probably did.
Of the old Blighty Theatre.
Where he was born and raised.
That's right, yeah.
So look, I know we said up top that your list is wrong if you're watching this, but
we stand by that.
Yeah. But if you'd like to leave it below, honestly, I would love to see it because I think I've seen a lot of people whose favorite episodes that like ones I'd go, really that one? I can see why your opinions are wrong. Yeah, really? Are you sure?
Did we ever establish if the tentacles from the first episode, because Doctor Strange shoots out some tentacles in the last episode.
Yep.
And I was expecting Peggy Carter to be like, I've seen those tentacles. Well, they're your tentacles? They're different tentacles.
Yeah, look, I don't think we're here to discuss whose tentacles are whose, Mason.
Okay, that's next week's episode.
That's right. This is a ranking video.
Okay.
But if you know whose tentacles are who, let us know below.
If you know definitively.
I
don't want to hear theories.
Nah.
Just let me, if there's a through line of tentacles that you've seen,
please.
Let us know.
Also, guess what? We have a podcast. It's called The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. Comes out every Monday. It actually comes out a day early at bigsandwich.co. We've also done recaps for literally every episode of this show if you do want to check them out. And we will be doing the upcoming Hawkeye series when that is revealed. And also just everything Marvel that's ever happened, I guess.
That's right.
We're cursed to do it. We're stuck in a universe where we're cursed to do that thing.
Oh, if only we're in a different universe.
Yeah, where the dark universe took shape and flight.
Oh my God, we'd be discussing the Bride of Frankenstein TV series right now.
It's probably a prequel.
Yeah, exclusive to Quibi.
Yeah. The Fiancé of Frankenstein, the prequel to Bride of Frankenstein.
Nice. Oh my God.
But also on Big Sandwich, which is our subscription service, there's a bunch of early videos, there's a bunch of bonus podcasts, just a bunch of stuff if you want to check it out, including movie commentaries.
Having a great time over there.
We certainly are.
We're having a great time here.
Not as much though.
That's true.
I'm at Mr. Sunday Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
See you guys at the next thing.
Oh boy.
Bye. Whose tentacles were that? It's not what this video's about, Mason.
I understand.